Hey YouTube, it's Eddie's Tech Talk, and this is my review of Windows 8.1 Preview. It is a review, although this product is not final. I would classify it as a later alpha to a beta stage. They call it Preview, so it's obviously fit for, I guess, developer consumption and other interested parties, but I would not recommend using it on your daily machine, as I've gotten some errors and there's a lot of bugs with it. But this is just my initial impressions and my they've added some new apps, so this is also my app review of Windows 8.1. I'm showcasing it here on my Acer Iconia W510. If you want to find out more about the W510, you can check it out on my channel, Eddie's Tech Talk, on YouTube. So, without further ado, this is my review of Windows 8.1 Preview. First up here, you can see two things. The background does not have to be the color that you chose when you first personalized your PC, your green or your blue or your gray or whatever color you chose. You can now set it to be the same as the desktop, and as you can see here by the little desktop live tile there, it is the same. So I'll click desktop, it's the same. I suppose this isn't a huge feature, but it just adds more for psychology. I guess it feels now like less of a transition. Before it kind of felt like the start menu and the desktop were very separate. Now it seems like it's more tightly integrated. I know it's not any more than it was before, but it's just a nice effect there. Second, you can see that the live tile size is larger than before. It can also be smaller than before. It's very nice for at least the Photos app and the weather here. The weather, I left the live tile on. It's quite a hot day outside. You can see the forecast and then your cloud cover, and then today's high and low, and then tomorrow's forecast high and low. So it's nice because it displays more information than before. And then when you have the photo live tile on, your photos will be displayed more prominently, bigger. It's just very nice. You can have them all different sizes, whereas before you can only have the wide size and then this size here. So you can also have them smaller, as you see right there. So in addition, before when you wanted to change the app, you had to like pull it down or pull it up. Now it's very similar to an iOS or an Android experience, where if you want to edit something, move it around, you just hold it and you can move it around wherever you want. You can also name the group now from here. Before you had to zoom out and select the whole group there. You can also move around entire groups at a time here, as you can see. So minor changes, but they are much appreciated. Make the operating system feel more intuitive, just a better experience, although none of these are major changes. There are some changes here in PC settings as well. So the settings is a little different. Update and recovery, you have a lot of the same things from before, but it's just a little different, a little easier to use, just a little more pleasurable experience. Now, before you could go into your start menu, obviously before Windows 8, view all programs and all that, and you can see the start button has made a return. Sorry about the camera focus in Windows 8.1, but it just takes you back to the start menu. Now this isn't as big a change as you would think from Windows 8. Before, when you put your cursor in that corner on the desktop, it would come up with a start, so you could just click and it would take you back here. So that's not as big a change as you might think. A change that I really like about Windows 8.1 is now you swipe down, you have a list of all your apps. You can categorize them in several ways: by name, by date installed, by most used, by category. And I just really like it. Liken this to your start menu, or your all programs list, from Windows 7, Windows XP, etc. You have a list of all your apps here, and then this is very all programs-esque. You have your folders here, your Acer folder, sorry about the focus, administrative tools kind of folder subset here, Office folder, whatever programs. So this is very much like your previous all programs list. And then over here you can search for an app. Then that's another thing that's changed in Windows 8.1 is that now the Bing app is gone, which I actually kind of miss a little bit. But taking its place is if you side swipe here, you go to search. Now it says search. I don't know if you can read that. I'll pull the tablet closer. It says search everywhere. So let's say I want to search for Eddie's. And you can see here, as I type things in, I have E there. It brings up a list of apps. And then internet search results like eBay, ESPN, Expedia, etc. So if I want to search for Eddie's Tech Talk, I obviously have no apps by that name. So I click search here, and it just opens the opens the search here. You can search for that. So here's my app by app rundown. You have alarms up here first of all. Now this is very nice to set. Oh, it looks like I've been running a stopwatch here, unfortunately. You can have alarms. You can set an alarm. Here, it's a very cosmetically appealing app. Here's the hours and the minutes. And then you can have it once or you can have it repeat any day of the week. You have a quite limited amount of sounds you can select here, but you can do that. Then you have a timer, so if you want to cook something or whatever. And then you have your stopwatch. Pretty basic. The second app here is calculator. You have your standard calculator, just basic addition, scientific with your sine, cosine, tangent, etc. Then converter, you convert milliliters to teaspoons. So I can imagine this would be very useful while cooking. Pretty basic again. All these apps that Microsoft has added for Windows 8.1 are just very basic apps, but necessary ones for this tablet style interface. You have a few camera changes. I won't go into those. I do get some bugs when using the camera now with Windows 8.1, but nothing major, nothing new to figure out. Then you have your finance, which you can, it's refreshing, it would appear. This is just another cosmetically appealing Bing Finance. When you open this app, you can take a tour of it, customize your watch list. I have not, because I don't follow the stock market. You have the Dow, the NASDAQ, S&P 500. I'm sure if you had a holding in a company, say you had Google or even Microsoft, you bought a Microsoft tablet, you want Microsoft stock, I'm sure that you could add that easily. Very appealing. You get very integrated, very nice stats. You get some articles here, more news from stock sources across the market. I mean, it's just a very intuitive app for those of you who follow the stock market. Next, we have food and drink, which is really, I'll close this and reopen it, which is really my favorite app that Microsoft has added. That makes me sound a little bit fat, but I really like this new feature that they have. You have Bing Food and Drink. Very much, I mean, I get suppose like finance, but you do have chefs. It's just food oriented. And then say you're cooking, you have this propped up in the keyboard dock or just in some fashion, and your hands are messy. You don't want to touch the tablet and get it all gross. Oh, sorry, my battery's running low there. So you tap this, say you're making mini lime cheesecake. Suppose it's having an issue. It didn't have an issue before. There we go. So lime cheesecake. And see down here in the corner, it says hands-free mode. This is my favorite feature of this app, hands-free mode. So you have it propped up. Let's see if I can actually prop this up here. No, doesn't want to follow me. It might be a little hard while holding it with one hand, but you don't want to touch the tablet. It's messy, so the webcam up here, you just swipe by with your hand, and it moves to the next page. So you don't have to touch the tablet. It just flies on by. without you ever having to touch it and gives you the next step in your cooking. Additional features of this app: you can add it to a meal plan. I don't have meal plans, but you can add a food to a meal plan here. Let's see what you can put. Name and note with the entry days that you've had it, I suppose. And you can get meal ideas, I suppose, of Microsoft trying to jumpstart you using that feature. Next here, we have health and fitness, which is very much like the food and drink. I mean, the other apps I showed you, it's just categorized, very visually appealing. You have the same kind of theme going in these apps with the menu and the features over here. And then you have continuing articles as you go through the app. These are all very thorough, very feature-filled apps. I encourage you to check them out for yourself. This is only a brief overview of the apps in Windows 8. So, next you have help and tips here, which I'll open for you. It just says coming soon, nothing too exciting. And then they've made a big deal so far. You have scan here, which reminds me of it. I don't have a scanner connected, but it's just basic scanning. That Windows 8.1 now has support for 3D printing. I've never used a 3D printer, never any reason to, but if that's your thing, it is now supported natively. Reading list we have here, which is going to be very useful for me. I haven't used it yet much. And you can save articles for offline reading, categorize your favorite articles. I'm about to do a new feature, a new weekly film called This Week in Tech, weekly video, and this is going to help me compile that. You see I compiled earlier Microsoft Surface smartwatch allegedly in development. I suppose you can't view it offline, but it does navigate you to the web page that you viewed it. So this is a jump starter. You can save your favorite articles, save for showing later on, and it opens it nice over here, which is my next feature, is that you don't open it in that weird three-quarter split that you did before, like shown here. You can divide things however you want now. So if I want to move it over just a little bit, I can. If I want to divide this in half, I can do that as well. So say you have your email open and then a web page. It's just very nice. You can take full advantage of the screen, which my beloved operating system Android does not do, and iOS is far from as well. So it's very nice now that you can do that. You can resize however you want. It doesn't just have to be quarter, whatever. You can resize it just a little bit. You can resize it a lot. It's just very, very nice. You can view all the apps, no lag. Very nice feature from Microsoft. Kudos to them for adding it. And in addition to that, they have not added any more apps. So this has been my short review of Windows 8.1, my first impressions and apps that Microsoft has added, my opinions on those. Thank you for watching. Stay subscribed, or subscribe if you haven't. Give me a like. If you have suggestions for future videos or feedback on this video, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.